This is our second day for Ghostober. Friday, it was all about magic, but today we are actually focusing on one of the most popular and haunted places in our state, the Brown Palace. There are many spooktacular tales. Hotel historian Deborah Faulkner shares what you can expect during one of her haunted tours. Good to see you, Deborah.
Thanks for inviting me.
First, let's go back to 1892. That was the year the hotel opened, right?
Denver is booming, just like it is today. This boom was fueled by the silver bonanza in Leadville and Aspen and Creed, the recent discoveries of gold in Cripple Creek, and Denver was the really the hub of the Rocky Mountain Empire. 17th Street was the Wall Street of the West,
Wow.
and at one end of 17th you've got Union Station, where almost 100 trains a day are arriving.
My goodness.
And at the other end, the state capitol is rising on a site that was donated by Henry Cordes Brown, our founder and namesake.
So, Deborah, so many websites out there say that the Brown Palace is haunted. Why?
I think part of the reason is that we downplay it. You know, some hotels, like the Stanley, really milk the heck out of their ghost stories. But I feel duty-bound to say the official line from our management is that we are not a haunted hotel.
Okay.
That said, I don't think I've met a single employee who's been there for more than 3 years who doesn't have some story of unexplained phenomena. And mediums and psychics who visit the hotel sense all sorts of
Interesting.
activity.
They're feeling the spirits. What kind of spirits? Share your first story.
They're very positive spirits for the most part. People who, I often say, people who had the time of their life came back for the time of their afterlife. But the hotel, ever since it opened, has gotten all of its water from its own artesian well, which is 720 feet down. And many psychics and mediums believe that when they tapped that deep, they made the hotel a way station, not only for travelers in this realm, but for spirits on their way to wherever they might be going. So mediums will often say this place is like Grand Central Station. There are so many spirits going through here.
Do they know a specific spirit? Like, could they say this was from boo boo boo?
A lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but some of them, yes. One that we definitely suspect is our founder and namesake, Henry Cordes Brown, still trying to oversee the property, because we know he was a very controlling personality. Also, the Betcher family. 3 generations of Betchers owned the hotel, and Charles Betcher Sr. actually passed away in his apartment at the hotel, and then his son piloted the hotel all through the 30s, 40s, 50s. I have a feeling CK had a hard time letting go too, so some people have suspected him in the hotel as well.
Have you had any experiences yourself personally, any hauntings?
You know, if you had asked me a year ago, I would have said I believe in the possibility of ghosts, but I've never had an experience. But just about a year ago, I was leading a tour of young ladies in one of the top floor rooms, which used to be apartments in the 1930s, 40s, 50s. And so those top rooms have a little more potential for spiritual activity because people lived in them for years and years, and several people died in them. So this one room had the most recent stories of unexplained phenomena, so I had been taking tours in there all month long. And when we were leaving, one young lady wanted to take photos in the bedroom to see if she could get an orb, you know, the latest players on the paranormal scene. And we were all standing behind her, and when her flash went off, in the illumination of the flash, there was another light, even brighter, even more instantaneous, and we were all like,
and it like
what
came
was
at the
that?
camera?
Yes. And the second picture, nothing. Third picture, nothing. Fourth picture is like horizontal lightning just shot through the illumination of that flash. And I had the definite sense this is not just a phenomena, this is an entity.
That happened to me at the Lebanon Mine up in Georgetown.
Oh,
I have some photos too. So what kind of special events do you have for Halloween?
Well, both Friday and Saturday night this coming up weekend, we're doing something called Spirits with Spirits, which is an overnight package. The event begins with cocktails and spooky hors d'oeuvres in our Brown Palace Club, the supposedly most haunted area of the hotel. I do a little bit of a historical overview to let people know who they might encounter.
Right.
And then we take off in small groups to tour around the hotel. And each group has a historian, but also a talented local medium. So they give their impressions of what they're detecting in all these spaces as well. It's a really neat, interesting new
so
dimension.
Cool.
Yeah.
How did you become so interested in the Brown Palace yourself?
Well, I grew up in Loveland, so I'm Colorado native, and my mother taught Colorado history for 25 years and dragged us to all the historic spots, whether we liked it or not. And I did like it, so I have followed in her footsteps. I teach U.S. and Colorado history at Metro State, and I've always been interested in the Brown Palace because it's the oldest continuously operating hotel downtown Denver. Millions of souls have been through there, and I think a few of them decided to stick around.
Isn't that interesting? What do you think your visitors find most intriguing about the ghosts and spirits they claim to see?
You know, one thing that's been fun with the mediums is to hear the mediums translate the impressions of the spirits of us and our times. A couple of the spirits in the upper floor rooms are very upset with women wearing pants.
Oh,
and with
I would be in trouble.
And especially with people with tattoos. Like, these are not the caliber of people that should be in the Brown Palace.
That is so funny.
It's very cute.
So there's still time to register and get tickets to come on a tour?
You certainly can do the overnight package on Friday or Saturday. And we also do public tours every Wednesday and Saturday, and then private tours. Anytime you book a private tour at the Brown Palace, you can request the ghost option.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I'm going to have to go check it out.
welcome.
And you too can check out the haunted history of the Brown Palace this Halloween. You might just have to see it to believe it. Ha, ha, ha. Book your ghostly weekend. Visit this website. Go to brownpalace.com. That's brownpalace.com.